So we are here with Kendra Morris, who was an undergrad English major and then a grad counseling major?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with, how did you choose your major?
When I was an undergrad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I chose my major because my AP 12th grade English teacher was just awesome, and I loved it. It was, I mean, I always liked to read, and I didn't necessarily like to write that much, but I always loved reading, and my 12th grade English teacher, Miss Kim Kelby, she really just, I don't know what it was, but she just like kind of fostered this love for reading and writing and interpreting and analyzing, and we had like essays due every night, and it really was hard at first, but I just kind of, it just became my routine, and I just fell in love with it, and so I just kind of decided to do that. I actually started off as an art major, fine arts, when I was a freshman, with an English minor is what I was going to do, but I just knew that it just wasn't the same, so I switched to English.
How did being an English major, the skills and the things that you learned from that, how did they translate into your grad work or also your work in your current employment?
English, I mean, everyone will tell you this, but it's so true that English, just basic English skills are so necessary. Not only to kind of seem professional, but just to, I don't know, I can't really explain it, I guess, in so many words, but like when I was doing grad work, I mean, we had to write papers all the time, and we had to read stuff that I didn't necessarily want to read, but I had to learn how to read through it carefully, analyze what it was saying, see how it applied to my life, see how it applied to other people's lives. And so those are skills that I learned as an undergraduate major in English. Like there were tons of things that, you know, I had to read that I really wasn't that into, or maybe I didn't really get it, like period. But you know, your English profs and your other students in the class, like you learn so much from them, and so I really feel like that carried over to my grad work. And same thing with my job, like I work as a guidance counselor right now at a local high school, and you know, I have to write presentations, like I have to, you know, someday probably I would like to write like maybe book chapters or something, like kind of contribute to the field. So all of that stuff is directly related to my undergraduate degree as an English major.
So you were involved in the work study stuff. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that because you were involved with, you know, College of Arts and Sciences pretty deeply.
Yeah.
Would you recommend that for other students?
Yeah, like, so I really didn't do any clubs. I didn't play any sports or anything, but I did do a work study. I think it was like my junior and senior year or something, and being involved with the College of Arts and Sciences and getting to know the other English staff, like the secretaries and some of the profs, like just hanging out on campus was a lot of fun. And just getting to know the people that worked here was great, and getting the experience that like kind of directly contributed to what I was majoring in was also really great. It gave me just a lot of really good takeaways, I think, for just job experience as well as like what I wanted to study and do ultimately.
You interviewed a lot of people. You were the major factor person until this point. You've done all of those. Throughout all of them, and with your own experiences, do you think that there's something that you could recommend to any College of Arts and Science student from all of that experience that you've gained?
Yes, get involved, get involved. It's something that I didn't do as an undergrad, but every single student that I interviewed, that's the thing that always stuck out the most, was how involved they were and how, I don't know how to say like distinguished, that's not like the right word, but just how successful they were and how much they were super passionate about their majors and what they wanted to do. And I thought that that was such a strong connecting point. Was, you know, a lot of them, like all the biology majors, like stay after and they spend time in the lab, like not just like 5 hours a week, but sometimes 40, like a full-time job. They would be in the lab, and that was awesome. You know, a lot of times they would do, like the psychology majors would also spend time in the lab, or they would volunteer in the, like they have like an area down there for the psychology club, and they like kind of help each other out with homework and, you know, help out with like editing articles and stuff like that. And I just thought like, that's exactly what you need to be doing. So I always recommend like any undergraduate student, and now like I work in a high school, so any high school student that I work with that I know is going to college, I always tell them, don't be afraid to use those resources, get connected with your profs, get connected with other students, see how you can get involved on campus. networking is just that's almost what it is networking, and you need to network when you're an undergrad. You're just sort of like learning how to do it, but you need to start.
What are your future goals? Where do you want to go from here?
Well, future goals, right now I love my job as a school counselor. Seriously, I love it so much. I can't picture myself leaving like this field anytime soon, but someday, maybe like 20, 30 years down the road, I would like to go back and maybe get my doctorate. Maybe come back and teach like future educators or school counselors or something. I really would like to do that. It's either that or maybe completely go off a different route doing something else random. That's like a really long way into the future, so I'm not really sure. But definitely I would probably end up changing my job at some point, but right now I couldn't picture myself anywhere else.